Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I wanted to talk about 5 harm OCD compulsions that we often see with harm OCD sufferers. Before I go on, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this, please suggest more topics, whatever you want to see on the channel, we'll try to cover that as best as possible. I also recently did in an illustration for the OCD recovery Instagram account as well on 5 harm OCD compulsions that can happen. And the first one is like avoiding media that is about psychopaths or serial killers and stuff like that. And this can go either way. Either you completely avoid those things or you watch them too much. And I'll explain how. You want to completely avoid them because you are afraid that watching them will make you feel triggered and you will feel extremely uncomfortable. And not only that by watching something, you might end up realizing that you are a psychopath or a serial killer yourself, or it might awaken the serial killer in you and the serial killer instinct in you or the harm instinct in you, or it is going to like make you start acting on your intrusive urges to harm your loved ones, right? So in that case, we kind of completely avoid. We don't want to go even near any multimedia related to serial killers, harm triggers and stuff like that. Even the word murder, even the word kill, even the name of a serial killer. Like when Jeffrey Dahmer's mini-series came out last year, or earlier this year, I'm not sure when. It was a huge trigger for a lot of harm OCD sufferers because they did not want to watch it. They felt like it was an expose on them in a certain way. And so it made a lot of people feel very, very, very uncomfortable as well. So, and also even with people who have a fear of developing schizophrenia, because obviously there is a certain mental illness element attached to psychopaths as well. So it was a huge trigger for a lot of people, but also therefore a huge exposure for a lot of people as well. But then on the other end, you might also be compulsively trying to search or watch things about serial killers or psychopaths in history because you want to make sure that you are different than them. You want to make sure that their personality traits, their life circumstances, their personal likes and dislikes, their looks, like all of those things are different to yours. You might even be comparing your urges, like your harm urges to their murders. So for example, if someone who, for example, used stabbing as one of the main ways of killing people, you might be like, oh, do I get the urge to stab or do I get the urge to perhaps, I don't know, use a hammer or something else, or poison someone? So then you're also checking your urges, you're checking what that person also did, and it becomes like a compulsive checking comparison kind of thing that am I like them, am I not like them? So those compulsions have to go. If you're watching too much or consuming that information too much, you have to sit with uncertainty and stay away from those things. And if you're completely avoiding horror movies, serial killer movies or stuff like that, then you have to go towards that fear as well. The second thing is controlling sleep. This is a big one, and excuse this little antenna in the back. I don't know where it's come from, but controlling sleep is a big one with harm OCD fears because sleep or lack of sleep, therefore, is regarded as one of the instigators of you losing control. Because obviously, when you don't get enough sleep, you feel like your inhibitions are quite lowered, you are agitated, you are on edge, your thinking is not quite straight, and you feel quite tired and haywire and exhausted, and you feel like those tired nerves will be basically the end of you. Your tired nerves will be the reason that you will start to panic or lose control and not have complete control over your actions and lose your sensibilities because of it. So sleep is one thing that a lot of harm OCD sufferers try to control, and they want to get the perfect sleep. They want to have all kinds of supplements or things like that induce sleep. They want to make sure that the pillows are right. They want to make sure they're going to sleep on time. They want to make sure they don't have coffee near their bedtime. They want to make sure they have plenty of time to unwind before going to bed. That's also another thing as well. So various things that go into trying to control sleep. We all know, a lot of us know how that goes. not doing anything too stimulating. So this can literally be anything. This can even be exercise. This can even be having sex, because obviously that's very stimulating for the brain and the body. So anything that gives you a lot of a strong sensory experience, you want to avoid that, because you think that this strong sensory experience will be like a pathway to you eventually losing control and doing something that's even more overwhelming, which is something like murdering someone or harming a loved one. So you want to make sure that you're not indulging in anything that really, gives you too many sensations or emotions or thoughts or like physical, like kinetic energy in your body, right? And to counter that, you might be then doing too many things to try to again ground yourself or center yourself, which in one of my previous videos that I've done like a few days ago, with fear compulsions, grounding yourself, trying to center yourself, trying to clear your head, these are all very subtle fear compulsions right there, trying to constantly be like, okay, I need to unwind, I need to feel okay, I need to by the end of the day feel like I have gotten rid of whatever extra layers of exhaustion, anxiety, or negative energy or feelings I've had. I need to get rid of those. So that's something that you try to, then overstimulation is something that you might try to avoid with this. Nighttime ritual. So for a lot of OCD sufferers, harm OCD kind of spikes up at nighttime specifically, because again it can be related to like sleep, but then even like watching horror films and stuff like that, they would never do. I mean, first of all, they might avoid them completely, but especially they might not do it at nighttime, because obviously nighttime is stereotypically associated with like horror stuff, with murders, with killings, with crime and stuff like that. So nighttime is when people might not want to be alone by themselves. Nighttime is when people might not want to be alone with certain loved ones. For example, children, they feel like if I'm alone with my kids at night at home, I might do something to them and nobody will, and like keep it a secret then. Or if I am with my husband all alone at night, or if I'm with my boyfriend or girlfriend and we're spending the night and we're just by ourselves on a quiet night, I might end up doing something that will harm them. So there are different variations of behaviors that are associated with nighttime. Again, going in the kitchen might be something you might not want to do at nighttime, because obviously there are a lot of knives and other sharp things in there. I don't know if you hear the crows fighting outside. The fifth thing is avoiding being alone. Again, now this can be at nighttime or this can be in general as well. But the reason I wrote this as a separate point is because, and this is true for a lot of themes actually, being in the company of your loved ones, parents, partners, friends is often like a very reassuring, comfortable environment to be in. But when you are by yourself, that's when you feel like, oh no, no one is there to keep a check on me, no one is there to keep me accountable. I'm not going to be using other people's presence as self accountability for my actions. So therefore, I can do anything in my privacy. I can do anything in my secrecy. I can literally murder someone and then nobody will know. So going out by yourself alone or being at home by yourself alone is going to be a challenge, but it's also going to be obviously then a great exposure for you to see what happens, to let those thoughts and let those sensations come by being by yourself. And same goes for all those other compulsions as well. If you're doing those nighttime avoidance compulsions of not being alone with someone or not watching a horror movie or something triggering, do that. Go towards that fear. If you're avoiding going to the kitchen at nighttime, do that. If you're avoiding stimulating activities or exercises or anything like that, go towards those things and do those things, because all of these things are, this is the only, this not the only way, but this is like one of the main ways that you will be able to see through the illusion of fear, while you are simultaneously tackling your beliefs about this as well, and which always comes down to fear of rejection, fear of losing your loved ones, fear of losing the good things in your life, because obviously if you commit murder, you lose your if you're sent to jail, for example, you're ostracized by society, your loved ones, rejected by loved ones, you lose your house, you lose your income, you lose like all like the good things that you associate with yourself in life. So it's the fear of losing all of that that is driving this cycle. But you also, while you break down your core fears, you also have to go towards these fears in terms of behaviors, because that is one big way that you're going to be able to allow discomfort to come, you're going to allow sensations to come, you're going to allow urges to come without trying to solve them, and see where that takes you. Because otherwise, I mean, if your brain is putting like a red flag on, okay, no horror movies at night, OCD will go towards that and really latch towards that. And inevitably, somewhere down the line, there is going to be a trigger. It's not like you will never be triggered and you can completely avoid that forever. There will always, always, always be a trigger. So therefore, going towards those triggers is extremely, extremely important. I hope this helped. This was a short video. Again, I'm trying to do shorter videos. Let me know if this helped, and I'll see you soon again with another video. Bye.